Well, good Friday morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods. How are you doing today? I'm feeling great. You know, I love... I've been gone working on the red brick house, you know, one of my pet projects that we're actually getting started. Got the whole kitchen ripped off and rebuilt in 4 days. And, you know, I'm tired. Brother, I'm tired. But I'm tired, but I feel good about what we got accomplished. And it's a satisfaction of when you do something and you work really hard and you get it done. It's that much more satisfying than if it just happened. You know, hard work pays off. I'm telling you that. And that has been the theme of my life. Everything I go 100% when I go. If I'm doing, you know, working on a red brick house or building cabinets or cooking or doing YouTube, I go full bore and I try and learn as much as possible to try and get all of the little intricacies of what it's doing. Everything but English. Okay. English, I just couldn't do it. And that's why I'm the name butcher and why I can't, you know, talk the King's English and all that. But anyway, here we are. Today is July 1st. And the nice thing about when you go away for a few days and then come back is the clock. Take a look down there. Take a look. 69 days, 11 hours, 33 minutes from now is the kickoff of the 2020 season. The Dallas Cowboys charter in 25 days heads for Oxnard. Training camp, 1 month from today, August 1st, will be the first padded practice. Guys, ladies, kiddies, Bigfoots, the football season is upon us. We got a couple of weeks left, but see, actually, 3 weeks, because some camps open up on the 21st. 3 weeks, training camps will open up. But we're still in the silly season. We're still in the silly season where, you know, we've got all the stupid lists. We got the trash in this guy, pumping up that guy. You know, it's so funny to me. It's almost comical to me that you would think that the roles are reversed between Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts. That Dak Prescott is the garbage quarterback or the guy who's got something to prove. Jalen Hurts is, you know, he's the veteran who's done a few things, you know. That's the way it comes across. And it's funny how people use the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott especially for publicity. You know what's so funny to me is because I came down here this morning because originally I was going to talk about the pressure on Micah Parsons. There's too much pressure for Micah Parsons because every day you see, you know, the Cowboys got a generational talent guy, you know, that, you know, this, that, and the other, and the expectations were there last year for Chase Young, and Chase Young couldn't follow through. So the expectations too high for Dak Prescott, you know, Jalen Hurts and, not Jalen Hurts, Micah Parsons and everything else. But then I came across this. Now, the only problem is First Take, usually, if you ever use their clips, you'll get blocked on it. So I don't know if this is going to get blocked or not. I'm not going to put it on the screen. I'm just going to play the audio because I almost find it comical how the last time I heard from Mad Dog Phil Russo, the last time I heard from him, I think it was about this time last year when he was saying some stupid shit about Dak Prescott. Let's go to let's just listen to it. I can't even look at. He looks like a mad dog that needs to be put down.
Courtney, about the Eagles is spot on. I'm going to challenge Mad Dog because I think he kind of buried the lead there. You think that Dak Prescott is overrated? In what world,
Yes,
sir?
Absolutely. Booger, come
How
on.
so?
Well, he's not top 10 quarterback in the NFL. No way. If you look at the...
That's not what you said. No, you didn't say whether he was top 10.
Well,
you said he's
11.
overrated. Those
Yes,
were
I
your
do.
words. Explain
I
to me
do.
how he's overrated.
Well, first off, has he ever won a road playoff game in his career?
A road playoff game. Oh, the Marcus move.
Played poorly. I mean, he didn't play well against the Rams in the NFC second-round game a couple years ago.
Didn't Aaron Rodgers? Could we say the same thing about Aaron Rodgers? Because Aaron Rodgers, they lost to San Francisco at home the following week after the Cowboys softened them up after a bye week. But go on, Russo.
I just don't. I'm not a big believer. Listen, he's good, he's decent, but if you look at the quarterbacks in the NFL that can win a Super Bowl, I don't know if Prescott can do that. And I guess that, and I think because he's a
let's
Dallas
not confuse.
Go ahead.
Let's not confuse accomplishments from a team standpoint with deciding whether or not the individual player is overrated. I remember last year in Tampa, first game of the season, Dak Prescott, Tom Brady on the same field. Who was the best player on the field? It was Dak Prescott. He was the best player on the field that night. Okay, so that showed me that Dak Prescott belongs in the upper echelon of quarterbacks in the National Football League. Now, sometimes when we get injured, we play a little bit differently or things don't affect us, but you cannot tell me that you didn't watch that game opening night. I think 36 million people watched that game, and you couldn't tell me Dak Prescott didn't belong in the upper echelon of quarterbacks. So when you say that this man is overrated, I think you might want to set back just a little bit, young man.
Well, hold on now, Booger. He was outplayed by Garoppolo. Garoppolo's not an upper echelon quarterback. He did not play well against San Francisco at all. Plus, he screwed up the clock at the end. He didn't realize with the scramble. He didn't know the rule with the whole thing with the judge. Well, he didn't know the rule. His quarterback got to the rule.
Yeah, I mean,
got to the rule.
My lasting memory of Dak Prescott, Booger, from last season is that run that he made, the ill-advised play with 14 seconds left, and then forgetting to hand the ball to the referee in order to reset it, and then the clock runs out. If you're thinking about everything he's going to be doing this offseason to try to improve, you don't think that's going to be seared into his brain? I mean, elite quarterbacks, the upper echelon of quarterbacks is not just guys who have all the physical tools. It's the mental part of the game, too. They were down 23-7 at halftime. They were awful. Oh. And it wasn't just him. 14 penalties for 89 yards is trash. That is not a good football team at the peak of competition. Yeah. Now, do I think that those things are going to carry over? You'd like to think that those are like the sort of things that you work on in the offseason. But for Dak Prescott, you know, I have to wonder, too, just about the in-between-the-ears thing with that moment. Like, how do you make sure that doesn't happen again? Because that, for a lot of people, is going to be what determines what class of category you put him in, of quarterback you put him in.
I remember a certain quarterback on a Thursday night in Chicago that forgot what down it was and held up 4 fingers. Remember who that was? That was Tom Brady. Things happen, and we're not calling.
I just want to bring something real quick because, you know, when Mad Dog says Jimmy Garoppolo outplayed him, see, this is the bullshit that you get. Now, the 49ers, especially Deebo Samuels, outplayed the Cowboys. Because Jimmy Garoppolo was 16 of 25, 172 yards and a TD. Excuse me, not a TD, an interception. Jimmy Garoppolo, 16 of 25, 172 yards, 1 interception. Dak Prescott, 23 of 43, 254 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. And let me put in there one other thing as we go through and say, Dak, you know, the lasting impression. Zeke Elliott had 12 carries for 31 yards, 2.6 yards a carry. Tony Pollard had 4 carries, 14 yards, 3.5. Your best rusher of the night was Dak Prescott, 4 rushes, 27 yards, 6.8. Now, she just mentioned that it was actually 13 penalties. 13 penalties. You had no running game. The only thing that was clicking was the passing game. And if you're talking about, well, they only had 7 points and you just admitted they had all those penalties, well, couldn't some of those penalties be game changers, as in drive killers? Go on.
Calling Tom Brady overrated. Things happen in football. What I'm telling you is, in a team sport that is so built around the quarterback position, when you look at the top 32 quarterbacks in this league, you'd be hard-pressed to tell me that Dak Prescott does not belong in the top 10. Now, I get it. He hasn't always come up big in the biggest moments. And guess what? A lot of guys didn't do that till later in their career. We're getting really flabbergasted by what's happening now with Josh Allen and Murray and Mahomes because they're doing it so young in the first 2 or 3 years of their career. But Dak Prescott, his talent, how he's played, what he's come up with in key moments, Mad Dog and Courtney, I think we're selling him a little bit short when it comes to where he is and where he should be based on some individual errors or individual performances that he's had.
Booger, Brady won 6 Super Bowls. We're going to bring up a play in Chicago when he didn't know that he screwed it up.
We're bringing up a play
championships.
We're bringing up one play for Dak Prescott against in the playoffs. So if you can bring up one, I can too.
I understand that, but I mean, Brady had won 6 before he made the mistake. Prescott hasn't won any. He hasn't won anything. And I don't know, you can't tell me he's a top 10 quarterback. The quarterbacks in the AFC West are better. Rodgers is better. Lamar Jackson's better. Burrow's better. Brady's better. I haven't even started here. I will guarantee it that I will come up with 10 quarterbacks better than Prescott. And listen, I'm not saying that the report card is complete, because he has a chance to, raise the level and win some playoff games, and McCarthy's not Tom Landry. We understand that. But I don't know how in the world we can sit there and say that Dak Prescott's a big-time player at the position. There's no evidence of that, Boog. And you know more football. You played it. You know more football than I do. There is no evidence that Prescott, where is it shown in his career that he is a big-time NFL quarterback?
Okay. So, again, this has derailed my morning show, but I just have to go. But, to Mad Dog's credit, he's done exactly what you need to do, is to get people to notice you. Now, I want to go through here because if your whole thing is that Dak Prescott lost the game to the 49ers, that Jimmy Garoppolo outplayed Dak Prescott, and I was just giving you the numbers, well, then let me ask you this. Why aren't we talking about Aaron Rodgers being overrated? Because he played against the same team after having a bye week at home. Jimmy Garoppolo, 11 of 19, 131 yards, 1 interception, a QBR of 11.9. And they only scored 13 points. Green Bay, at home, on the frozen tundra, only scored 10. Aaron Rodgers, 20 of 29, 225 yards, no TDs, no interceptions, an 18.7 QBR. Guys, overrated. Dak Prescott was drafted in the 4th round with a compensatory pick. He has gone farther than any of the quarterbacks in his draft class, has yet to have a losing season, has broken Cowboys records, and is trashed on a daily basis. I don't know how it is that he is overrated, because most people that are drafted after the 1st round, hell, in the 1st round, at quarterback, are never heard from again. Paxton Lynch, whatever happened to that guy? Josh Rosen's? Yet this guy is still standing. So I don't know how you can say that he's overrated. You may not. You can say that he maybe hasn't had the playoff success or, won the games and things that others have. You could say that, but overrated? Everybody trashes him. How are you overrated when you're getting trashed on a daily basis? But it's all good. We'll see what happens this year with Dak Prescott fully healthy. And instead of saying, I'm fully healthy right now and I'm good, he is still working on honing his craft. He is working with a quarterback coach here the last few weeks before training camp. He is trying to get in as much work as possible to make sure his mechanics are there. So jackasses like Mad Dog, and he is like a mad dog, we'll hear from him again about this time next year. That's when we'll hear from Mad Dog again. Anyway, hope you guys are having a great day. I got some work to do in the workshop. Got to go put some bookcases in, and then I'm going to be back here in the man cave. And be careful out there. It's a holiday weekend. The good news is I'm noticing the price of gas is coming down. It's coming down for real. It's coming down for real. It's beginning to level off. The gas companies have done what they always do. They ramp that shit up, squeeze every nickel out of us before Memorial Weekend. And just as we start saying, screw this, let's change the laws, let's buy an electric car, they drop the price back down to make you forget. In the meantime, their wallet is fat, and we broke asses. But in the meantime, I got to hit the road for a little bit, put this bookcase in, trim it out, and get back here. And as always, I appreciate you guys. You know how we roll.
Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.